Hello everyone, Alpha here, and welcome to the ABT Bloom series. This is the eighth episode, and I'm very happy to be your host. Tonight's topic is moving outside the comfort zone. Hmm. Do you know the biggest obstacle for most people trying to achieve their goals? Hmm. The silent dream killer that stops people before they ever get started. Hmm. That obstacle is the comfort zone. And getting stuck there is bound to derail any efforts you make towards achieving the goals you set for yourself. This is where, the comfort zone is where your day to day routine, your subconscious work happens. It's an easier place to be in. There are no surprises, and you are competent and confident in what you do. However, in the comfort zone, very little learning or innovation takes place, and you can become unmotivated, bored, and disengaged. That's very interesting. Most of us need some days in the comfort zone. That's tricky, right? Let me explain. When you have the calm and headspace to reflect on our experiences and then step back to the stretch zone to apply that line, what does that mean? Sometimes we stretch ourselves. We stretch ourselves in a way that we need to come back to the comfort zone because we enter into the red zone, which is some referred to as the panic zone. You don't need to stay there for long. You have to come back to the comfort zone. Let me explain. Moving outside the comfort zone requires you to be scared of the unknown. You will fail, and most times miserably. The good thing is that you will unlearn, relearn, and learn in the process. In the warmth of our comfort zone, lives feel safe and familiar. Most often, we do care to admit that finding the motivation to leave that zone is very hard. But the more we remain stuck in the comfort zone, the more opportunities we miss to fully immerse ourselves in the human experience. Learning how to get out of the comfort zone takes a willpower and a change in mindset. That's a very difficult task to pull off. Each step you take to expand your comfort zone leads to potential growth, learning, and success. But it's easy for me to say it. How can you get out of the comfort zone? I'd like to share with you two steps that have helped me immensely for me to move out of the comfort zone and continue to stretch myself. The one step is expand your professional skill set. Comfort zones can get in the way of your professional growth. Yes. Getting too comfortable in a role you've outgrown can keep you stuck when you need to move forward in your career. For example, as an employee, one way to leave your comfort zone is to learn new skills that gives you a competitive advantage and make you more employable. How many of us can pull up that one? You can use development resources to upskill yourself with in-demand skills in your industry. Step two, this is the most important one, and this is the one that can um, allow people to remain stuck in that zone. Choose the fear and face it. You need to be brave to step out of your comfort zone. Take, for example, I'm outside of my comfort zone, just being here and talking to you. Being brave is not about eliminating fear, but moving forward despite it. So you're not trying to overcome fear because there's nothing you can do about it. It will be there. There's nothing you can do. What you will do is you will find a way to work with it, to accept it, and then move on with your life. So you have to choose one fear that's currently holding you back and confront it. You can start with something small. For example, if you are afraid of public speaking, practice speaking up more during work meetings if you are an employee, and sign up with a life coach. Or if you are still struggling to move outside of the comfort zone, reach out to us at ABT Coaching Company Limited. Maybe you might be a great fit for our coaching program. We'll be right back. Hi, I am Bakarr Timbo, a personal user coach and CEO of ABT Coaching Company Limited. At ABT Coaching, we help our clients to unlock their true potential and explore the gift of life through our system of coaching. Have you ever wondered why you struggle to set your goals, to be in a better relationship, unable to walk through the right path of your career development, discover your better version, procrastinate on how to kickstart your business plans, challenging right? Our societies have corrupted our minds not to explore life as we should. And its narrative has forced us to be stuck in our comfort zones. But guess what? We have all the powers within us to walk the path that we want and stretch ourselves to be successful. If you feel life is all about staying in your comfort zone, then our coaching programs are not for you. But if you feel there is more to life and it's a must for life exploration, get in touch and prove to us that you're a great fit for our coaching programs. Cheers, and see you on the other side. God bless. If you're just tuning in, this is the 8th episode of the ABT Bloom series, season 2. And tonight we are discussing the topic, moving out of the comfort zone. Our guest is a seasoned executive, skill experience professional with over 15 years of working experience. He started in the Commonwealth Scholar, and he has done numerous beautiful things for himself. Starting off with, he has a degree in electrical and electronics engineering, where he has a master, division 1 at the Fabric College. He also holds a Master's of Science degree in e-business systems from the City University of London, that's UK. He's that kind of person that you need in society. Kind of person in society. Doing his master's degree and his thesis, he involved himself in different projects, where he worked with the British Telecom as an intern in UK, and he handled so many projects across Africa. While he was involved in the billing systems, revenue assurance, and a whole lot of different skills. Our guest today is a seasoned telecom individual, wherein he has won so many awards in Orange Sierra Leone, where he worked as the customer experience director, and he has acquired so many awards. Just like I said, like one of them is the Employee of the Year award in Orange Sierra Leone, and the National Professional Recognition Award for the top 100 professionals in Sierra Leone. That's a huge one. And he's a very innovative kind of person. So, much ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Alpha Sulaiman Bundu. Welcome, Alpha.
Hello, hi. Thank you very much, Mr. Timbo.
I remain humble. Quick reminder, before we dive deep into this conversation, this is a live discussion. Should we lose internet connectivity or electricity, please don't leave, as we will be right back. I invite you to engage with each other in the comment section and ask questions. Also, as you're watching, please share the conversation. Welcome again, Alpha.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Now, leaving the comfort zone is not easy. In fact, it can be downright terrifying at times. Majority of us humans want to stay in the comfort zone. Why? Because there are no surprises. We feel comfortable. We feel relaxed. We know the outcome of our actions. So, Alpha, what's your experience in succeeding by you moving outside of the comfort zone?
So, yes, good evening, Mr. Timbo, for giving me this wonderful platform and opportunity to interact with you. And I want to say congratulations to you too for pursuing your dream. And I think your story is well known. And this is just a story I'm going to tell. But I know you have a better story. Not to confuse the audience, my name is Alpha Sulaiman Bundu, um, and I know we happen to share the same names with each other. But going back to your question, you're so right about what the premise you've established. Um, one thing I know is that there is no growth in staying or expanding your mind in your comfort zone. In all the roles I have held over the years and blessed by the opportunity been given along the way in my career, I noticed that before moving out of your comfort zone, there is a lot of self talk happening because you have to first convince yourself, plus, you need the support because there is always that self um, conviction that you need to actually get into the position of making the move and bringing that thought process into reality. Most of the time, um, people go out of their comfort zone. It comes with an inspiration also from people that see you from the outside. You know, most of the time we don't see ourselves. We act what's being observed by the people around us, and also some people actually, as another factor, listen to people they trust that tells them about what they see. And one thing is that the moment you're comfortable in your comfort zone, you need to know that it's time to move. And that's something I have experienced over time and has been a guide for me in doing all the things I've done. My mind keeps on engaging me. And the moment I get to realize that I'm not engaged anymore, I feel disengaged. It gives me that self awareness that maybe I have done what I had to do in a specific position I find myself. And it's same with if you try to relate that with real life. I think we as humans we continue to change all the time. Nothing is static. Everything is very dynamic, and you have to find a way to adapt. And that is all the more of a reason why we are the king of the jungle beside the lions, because in all of this, if a lion sees you in the jungle or you see a lion, I mean, the first thing you have to think about is how do you adapt? Is either you find a way of securing your mind and convincing yourself that you're safe, or you run away from it. So and or you find a way to defend yourself in terms of overcoming that particular challenge that you see. So for me, comfort is part of life. I think it's part of living, and if you're comfortable, it means you're not moving. It means you're not expanding your mind, and though the human nature is naturally known to be at peace with itself in areas of comfort. But this is where we need people around us also to give us that prompt and that push. So if you were to ask me, how did I succeed in moving out of my comfort zone? I think a lot of what has happened to me is first convincing myself that yes, it's time. Where I am is not where I need to be now, and I need to look for the next steps that propels me to the next stage of where I need to be.
Thank you, Alpha. We will take a short break to check out. This is a good time to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share the podcast with a friend. Do you believe in yourself? As humans, we need to have self-belief to explore life. Having a mindset will help us to set the pace for success. Trust me, you can do whatever you put your mind to if you believe. Guess what? Our coaching programs have helped so many people to master the art of self-belief and take the necessary actions to be successful. So, if you lack self-belief, get in touch and experience our wonderful ABT coaching techniques. Cheers and have a wonderful new week. Hi, I am Bakarr Timbo, a personal result coach and CEO of ABT Coaching Company Limited. At ABT Coaching, we help our clients to unlock their true potential and explore the gift of life through our system of coaching. Have you ever wondered why you struggle to set your goals, to be in a better relationship, unable to walk through the right paths of career development, discover your better version, procrastinate on how to kickstart your business plans, challenging right? Our societies have corrupted our minds not to explore life as we should. And its narrative has forced us to be stuck in our comfort zones. But guess what? We have all the powers within us to walk the path that we want and stretch ourselves to be successful. If you feel life is all about staying in your comfort zone, then our coaching programs are not for you. But if you feel there is more to life and it's a must for life exploration, get in touch and prove to us that you're a great fit for our coaching programs. Cheers and see you on the other side. God bless. Do you believe in yourself? As humans, we need to have self-belief to explore life. Having a mindset will help us to set the pace for success. Trust me, you can do whatever you put your mind to if you believe. Guess what? Our coaching programs have helped so many people to master the art of self-belief and take the necessary actions to be successful. So, if you lack self-belief, get in touch and experience our wonderful ABT coaching techniques. Cheers and have a wonderful new week. Hi, I am Bakarr Timbo. Hi, I am Bakarr Timbo, a personal result coach and CEO of ABT Coaching Company Limited. At ABT Coaching, we help our clients to unlock their true potential and explore the gift of life through our system of coaching. Have you ever wondered why you struggle to set your goals, to be in a better relationship, unable to walk through the right paths of career development, discover your better version, procrastinate on how to kickstart your business plans, challenging right? Our societies have corrupted our minds not to explore life as we should. And its narrative has forced us to be stuck in our comfort zones. But guess what? We have all the powers within us to walk the path that we want and stretch ourselves to be successful. If you feel life is all about staying in your comfort zone, then our coaching programs are not for you. But if you feel there is more to life and it's a must for life exploration,
Get in touch and prove to us that you're a great fit for our coaching programs. Cheers, and see you on the other side. God bless.
Welcome back to the show. You are just joining us. You are watching the ABT Bloom series. This is the 8th edition. Welcome again, Alpha. My experience of making mistakes and failing on my journey is the reason why I'm here today, and it's the reason why I set up ABT Coaching Company Limited, and that's the more reason why I'm coaching people for them to realize their better self and move through life. Now, saying that one, it's a difficult thing to pull off because it involves you to fail. It involves you to make a lot of mistakes. Not everybody can do that one because sometimes we think about our family. When someone tell you something in your family like, okay, I want to achieve this dream, but someone will tell you that you're not good enough, and the voices in your head, those fears, okay, the self doubts, will tell you that you're not going to make it. How can you pull that off? And when you look at our society, especially in Sierra Leone, I don't believe in washing our dirty linens in public. But there are some things that we have to talk about because it has affected the young generation coming up. People look at different careers and they're like, okay, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor. What about you doing what you really love? Sometimes we do things because of our family backgrounds. We do things because of our parents. We do things because of people that want to emulate. That's not a bad thing. But are you really fulfilling your potential? Are you really living that life purposefully? So, Alpha, how did you handle your failures and maintain your focus to be successful this far?
Wow, that's a tough question. Thank you for probing my mind on that. Well, one thing I can tell you, life is a continuous journey, and I am still learning and discovering myself. So, and I think everybody goes through a different phase in reacting to failure. But one thing I can say is um, failure is something inevitable. It will come. It's something guaranteed in life. Um, so when you are in the natural human impulse is that when you fail, it connects your mind with your emotions. It becomes an emotional decision. But the question is, how do you use your mind to guide your emotions and get out of that position? And what is fascinating is that people don't research failure or rejection. But most of the time, you find people only talking about the success. So, more like failure is a barrier into the realm of success because people will only get to listen to you when you failed, and have succeeded. And eventually, there is a story to tell. So, and it takes time for you to get to that level of maturity to understand that failure is actually part of life and we should embrace it. So sometimes it's only when you get older as you get to understand really what failure means and why you need to embrace it. And this is why I love what you're doing because talking about this is really good for the generations that are coming after us and even the ones now to actually get a grasp of what failure means. I believe 100% that failing is a time to learn. It is a time to understand what is happening around you and how you could use that to change and inspire others. And I believe that's one of the reasons why we're having this conversation because it does not mean that I'm here and I don't go through failure. I mean, as long as you live, you'll always and forever continue to experience that. The question is, how do you master the art of failing? So I always link my failures as learnings, as mentioned. It is only when you have failed that people would want to listen to your story, honestly. But when you fail, also you need to try to win, because that would better define who you are as a person and will demonstrate better your strength, patience, and resilience. Because it's more like a romance and a relationship with yourself when you get to that position. You will discover a whole new you in the experience of rejection. Trust me. I learned from my current boss. He normally says that he always says that you always have to have hope, and you always need to give people hope around you, because if there is no hope, it takes a lot of time that you will spend in the process of rejection and failing and transforming to the point of acceptance for you to come out of it and say, I want to do it again and I want to be better. This guy, Will Smith, once I was listening to one of his videos and he said that the air of greatest fear is the air of limitless success. And most of the time, what creates the fear is the fear in our minds, which becomes emotional, is the fear of failing. And fear is nothing normally triggered by the fear of failing. It's it's something that comes inside of you. And knowing yourself and knowing how you react to it, I think it's the beauty of it also. I've gone through a series of experiences of rejection. I've gone through a series of but let's talk about this. What is failing really? I have realized over time that we define failure due to the limited knowledge we have and understanding of what God has for us as a plan. If I normally, for me, my life in terms of handling failure does not go in isolation of my religious belief as well. I have a very strong belief system. I'm a Muslim, by the way. Of course, you'll tell by the name. But trials will always come. And if you look at all the people that God has blessed, there is no successful person in this world that don't have a story, a compelling story to tell. The disciples, the prophets, each one of them have gone through some level of failure and trials because there is a message, because God always wanted people to see people do the impossible, for them to be convinced that there is a higher God and a higher being. So the definition of failure really, I think, is more based on the limited understanding of what life really means. You could think that today you have failed, but tomorrow, based on time, you would realize that, oh, because of that, then I believe I had failed, but today that failure could mean success, could mean the best decision you've ever made in your life. I will give you an example of that. When I first got out of when I finished my masters and I was trying to look for a job, I I tried to apply. I mean, because at that time, I just got married and my wife had a son. I think I've never told this story before. So that's something I'm telling you today. I was kind of lost and I thought maybe I had failed, because now I left a job just to go and study. But at the same time, I was in need of a job to take care of my family. But when I eventually, long story short, when I tried to apply multiple times in the UK, but I wasn't given the opportunity. But then when I remembered that there was a guy then in Millicom that I met that told me immediately I finished my master's, I should give him a call. That's Karel Maslan, by the way. He has been one of my mentors in my professional life. I sent him an email after trying so many times. I sent him an email on a Thursday I would never forget, telling him that, hey, I have finished my master's, and I don't know if he remembered me like a year or two ago. And I'm now available and I'm looking for an opportunity. Timbo, in less than 24 hours, he responded to me and told me that there was an opportunity. He said, "Oh yes, I do remember you, Alpha, and you're actually reaching out to me at the right time, and there is an opportunity actually now in for you in Rwanda and Chad." So again, long story short, I was confused because I never knew Rwanda. That was like almost 13 years ago. That was, I think, was in 2010. And at the time when you Google anything about Rwanda, the only thing you'll see was about the genocide, which is not the same story now. But the story I want to tell there is at that time, everybody was scared. That was 13 years ago, was scared to go to Rwanda because they thought it was, I mean, based on the information available. But when I got there, it was a whole different story. So, what I want to say is sometimes you will think you are failing, but you just need to continue to push until you find yourself in the moment. You shouldn't stop because for every time you have failed, you have an opportunity to tell a story that will inspire because we are all looking for hope. We are all looking for opportunities to get to the next step. So, how I handle failure is to be resilient, is to be persistent, and not to forget the Almighty God in all of your endeavors because we are all here for a reason. Thank you.
Thank, thank you very much, Alpha. The takeaways are like so much, and the most takeaway, the best one I can take from it. So you're moving to Rwanda, and the mindset that you have developed, that fearless mindset, and it reminiscent, and I can see the similarities with me when I moved to China to do my masters. It was a beautiful experience, a hard one that I choose that it made me to become the kind of person I am today. Now, Alpha, in this journey of life, we have to be grateful to the Almighty. Okay, not saying that if you don't believe in God, you're not gonna make it in life. Okay, we are not here to be biased in our mindsets. But when you're moving outside your comfort zone, you will face rejection. Failure is a guaranteed process. Okay? You will fail countless times. When I quit my job, it was not guaranteed that I will make it this far. I was bound to fail. Okay? Sometimes it will be a disaster. But how many of us can witness bad situations, hopeless situations, and we see the gifts and notice the opportunities that present themselves? When I quit my job, the best opportunity was like me doing what I really love. Mind you, I have a beautiful wife and two wonderful kids. But I was looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is me coaching people who are like struggling, like what I was doing before. Because believe me, some people are stuck in their comfort zone, Alpha, especially in Sierra Leone. Now, what this ability is showcasing is like we have talented people in Sierra Leone, but how many of us can live our dream life? How many of us are doing the things that we love purposefully? Okay, without saying that, we say that one, people don't know how to handle rejection, Alpha. You mentioned it in the earlier response, but when I talk about rejection is when it comes from family members, your peers, a society at a large, Alpha. Quick one, Alpha. How did you handle rejection?
Wow, that's an interesting question. Alpha rejection. There is no one way to handle rejection, and that takes us back to uh, adaptation. But to be honest with you, and because rejection is an emotional reaction to an event, and rejection hurts. Yes, no doubt about it. Rejection is hard. Rejection takes away your joy because it puts you in a space of um, emotional sympathy. You sympathize with yourself. Rejection will come for many different reasons. It will come. So some people will not just like the way you look, the way you smile, the way you talk, or the confidence you have. There are many different reasons that provoke why people react to you that way. And this is what you go through in your mind when you talk about failure. So there's a thin line between the two, failure and rejection. But this is what you go through. The mind gets exploded because you get to understand and this is where the self-talk comes in a lot because you start talking to yourself, you start asking and reminiscing about the things that you could have done that have led to this outcome. So, but you always have the power to control who you want to be. That is one power that nobody has. It's only you that have it. So, life is a continuous journey of people's reaction against you. It could be good or bad, it could be rejection or success. But if you know what you want to be, rejection wouldn't be something to worry about. In reality, um, rejection is something that is passive. It doesn't last. It's something that is taking you through a transition of redirection. It's about how you notice what it brings and how you take advantage of that moment. However, always try not to stay in the moment of the feeling it brings. Rather, I would say that don't let rejection makes you lose focus on your identity because this is rejection also is something that is psychological. It can lead to depression, but rejection can lead to success. It can lead to new beginnings, I can tell you. So if you look at me today, I've done a lot of crazy things, but partially due to rejection sometimes, and some of it due to redirection based on what people outside that see the way you operate and tell you who or give you options of what you can explore. Because as I said, life, you're always discovering yourself along the way as life unfolds. And honestly, whatever you are rejected from is not for you. But that shouldn't stop you from trying. It's it awakens, as I said, a part of your brain that interprets a feeling as a hot feeling or as a joyful feeling. Anything emotional comes with a package of hate and love. Rejection is a limitation of man. For me, I think we are limited because of our fear of rejection. Even when as a kid, I think it's something that we should nurture in society to train our kids to embrace rejection. Because even when you're growing up, to express yourself publicly, you have the phobia of thinking that, oh, maybe I would not be accepted. Maybe what I will say will be out of place. And it takes time. Nobody wakes up and become. It's continuous practice and developing on what you believe you have a passion for. And identifying that passion is what is key. And I've already mentioned that earlier, that nobody succeeds accidentally. You need time. You need you need to put in the work, as rejection is really part of life. And most of the time, I can tell you that the fear of rejection is just a lie of deception to success, because it's kind of hold you back from what from imagine you're thinking of doing something. If you take away the fear and just put yourself out there and imagine the amount of things you will do compared to the amount of things you will lose in just being, because you don't lose anything when you take a leap on something. Whether you succeed in it or you fail in it, there is always something you learn from it. You become either one step wiser, or you it builds on your confidence of assuring your actions and reaffirming your position and understanding of your environment. So I I think um, what we need to tell and train our minds, and of course make it clear to people, especially our children, is for them. And this is why again I will tell you that this is a very interesting session. And to be specific in Sierra Leone, is for us in our homes to allow our children to make mistakes, and to let them know that rejection is acceptable, and also help them to understand that that is life, because sometimes we only encounter these things and talk about them when we go through these phases and experiences on our own. And by that time, maybe your mental model is set and it becomes something that is part of you. And the more you are stuck with it, the more difficult it is to handle rejection. So if you start to understand and be comfortable in rejection now, it gives you a mindset that is very good in the environment of entrepreneurship, because I don't see companies today succeed without taking risk. Risk is always part of it. And but what is important is to understand the level of risk you will take, and to minimize the amount of rejection you'll expose yourself to. But if you have those two tools, I think it sets you up for success. It sets you up to exceed or go beyond your understanding of your limitations. So
Thank you very
that's
much, Alpha.
in a nutshell. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And you've said a whole lot. And trust me, I think it will help to give people that mindset that you can be better and you will succeed. Now in Sierra Leone, so many people are stuck in their comfort zone. Yeah, and I know that one. In the workplace environment, in different industries, and even in businesses, people are stuck in their comfort zone. People don't want to challenge themselves. People don't want to be consistent in doing the things that they love, even with a failure of breathing down their neck. People don't look at the bigger picture. I'm not being biased here. What I'm doing here is I'm provoking you for you to like look inwardly and challenge yourself that you can do better. Now, it's easy said and done. But with coaching, I'll be specific now. With coaching, your life will change. This was not me. I had this trouble. I went through a whole lot of process to get to this particular situation where I'm talking about my failures, talking about my mistakes, talking about a whole lot of things. We have talented Sierra Leoneans. Okay? That's the reason why ABT coaching, ABT Bloom series is giving is creating this platform for people to showcase their talents. And I hope this particular episode has do the necessary thing that you will understand and you try to put in the work that will make you live your life purposefully. Thank you very much, Alpha. And I appreciate your insight on the topic. Moving out of your comfort zone will help you to discover your better version. You'll be fearless to do what you love. Now, let's head to our questions and comments section. Okay, if you notice, there are a few comments. Now, let's head to our questions and comments. Okay, with so they are very interesting comments, and that just shows that Alpha, what we are doing is a good thing, and we are helping society to bring out the best of the best talents that will showcase the best of Sierra Leone and West Africa as a bigger picture. With that, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you so much, Alpha, for being in conversation with me. A huge thanks to everyone who's watching this live. Take care. Until we meet again, I remain humble.